Hello and welcome back to the Battle Room. I am the Battle Room, and today I'm joined by Raghav. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. It's good to hear that familiar phrase. Last time we recorded, I didn't know where I was, who I was talking to, but we're fucking back in the battle room. Some might call it the battle room because apparently I sound like I'm in a bathroom. But we're here with a fucking amazing match, one that we kind of touched with this. We touched on this team in our last video, and I thought, you know what? Why don't we show a glimpse of what it actually does in action at EUIC? Wolfe Glick versus Eric Rios.
Wolfe Glick versus Eric Rios in 2016 as well. This is the 2017 season, but this battle takes place in the 2016 year. So this was like before. I mean, obviously, Wolfe had just won Worlds at this point. Let's set the stage, right? Wolfe wins Worlds. Eric is a fantastic player on the rise, trying to prove himself as one of Europe's best. And then Wolfe's winning Worlds, and he's going to his first international, the first international ever as well, where they finally encouraged everyone to fly for these things. So it's very exciting to see Wolfe try to win one of these.
And this is the first tournament in the new format with the new games. So everybody's kind of on an equal playing field in that there are no usage statistics to go off of. There are no common cores necessarily. Like, we have ideas of these what the meta is going to look like, but really everyone's kind of trying to create the meta. And you might have noticed that Eric Rios is looking a little different. That is what he looks like without his, facial hair now. But basically at the time, I think he was under 18, and so there were different like rules and policies about, recording your camera. And I don't know the specifics, but it seems like we don't have access to his player camera. And just to make things equal, we're going to have Colin cover Wolfe's face.
But yeah, this was also, I think it was, 2 weeks or 3 weeks after? I think it was 3 weeks, we looked it up, after the game came out. So this was like really, really fresh. Like, people had to beat the games as quick as they could and then play on Showdown and try to figure out what the meta could even look like.
Not for real, like even getting the Pokemon itself was probably like kind of hard because everyone's still figuring out what things do, like mechanics, like where to get these certain Pokemon. And imagine making a last minute change on your team. Like, you really, this was a crazy tournament, and it has some of my favorite matches from the season, honestly. Like, this was my first year in Masters, so I was really obsessed with the game and trying to learn as much as I could. So I have really fond memories of this format and this set and this team. So I'm really excited to break it down, what probably has been like almost 8-9 years. So
And this set, we did cover this team in our most recent video. You should go check that one out. We broke down 5 of Wolfe's best teams, and spoiler alert, this was one of our favorites on there. This was number 5. So this was a team that we thought was really cool and was really innovative at the time in this format.
without further ado, let's get into the match.
Let's get into the match. All right, going to this one, what do you think of the matchup? How are they supposed to play it? It's pretty similar-ish matchup here. Like, they have some of the same Pokemon. We have Bulu, Politoed, and
P2, I believe?
P2, yeah.
Yeah, so I think there are some key mons in the matchup. Obviously, this is still in the close sheet era, so we don't really know what either person has. We do know what Wolfe has because we covered it, but just speaking from the perspective of the players, we don't know. And I do like this lead from both of them, just kind of their Intimidate and Bulu. But I think the key matchup mon here is Eric has Marowak, which is really annoying for the Wolfe's Magnezone. And because Magnezone is the main way that Wolfe has of dealing with Celesteela. So in my head, I think it's kind of, do you bait that you have Marowak? Are you protecting it in the back? And scouting a lot for information this game 1. This is the case in a lot of games open sheet, is playing really defensive and kind of trying to figure out what your opponent has.
Yeah, it's all about just like the information, how much you can get, whether it's speeds, whether it's moves, and you just have to try to cover for as much as possible here. And I think Wolfe has a pretty good lead here. Like, no matter what, neither of these Pokemon really have anything to hit Salamence, so he's kind of fucking chilling here, and he can just put on the pressure right away.
Now, Salamence is absolutely chilling. Interesting switch out from Arcanine, and we see the substitute. That is just like, oh my god, I'm obsessed. That's a classic Wolfe play. Because
And he does it again.
The doubles up! Oh my god, dude. This is why I love this team. Literally, the first turn, we see Wolfe be the substitute god. In a game where there's no information, you know your opponent's going to play defensive, that's the perfect way to punish a passive play. And I don't know if you saw, it was in Spanish, he was throwing some Spanish stones at the Salamence. That
Oh,
blue
he went
went
for
for
Stone Edge.
Stone Edge.
Yeah.
So
That makes
actually
sense.
missing was huge there.
Yeah, because now he's just behind his sub. He can switch into this Magnezone. So Magnezone specifically in this tournament, and why Wolf ran it, is it has Magnet Pull. So now Celesteela is basically trapped in versus both these Pokemon, which is so brutal.
I actually really, really like that play from Wolf, knowing that, you know, there's a sub behind the on the Bulu. Let me just switch it out, trap it immediately. And like, you know, Eric probably wasn't predicting that, but I do like that he kind of just ignored it because he's like, what is that Bulu gonna do to me? Holy shit.
That thing does
so much.
Yeah, it's a nuke. Celesteela is so powerful. It's crazy because it's so bulky too. Celesteela is just honestly one of the best Pokemon, just true menace of 2017.
So the tricky part here is that, okay, he's trapped the Celesteela, but can you Thunderbolt it? Because Eric could easily just pull that Bulu out for a Marowak and you're not in the best spot.
He could, but Wolf could also make kind of a crazy play and potentially Draginium Z that Marowak as well. If he was on one, right? Then he just takes it out. Oh my god, no way. No, did he cover for it?
Dude, you just fucking called it.
There's no way, dude. I haven't seen this set. I swear I haven't seen this set. That's actually so nasty. That is so nasty.
He's Draginium Zing a fairy type, dude. And then it switches into the Marowak.
Oh my god, that was beautiful.
This is a crazy play in my opinion, because Wolf also has a really safe substitute here to dodge the leech seed as well. Mm-hmm. And it drops.
It's out of here. I mean, it's pretty nuts. Salamance's Draco Meteor does a ton, but now it's doing even more damage. The Dragon Z just goes nuts.
And there's the sub, and Eric is just so behind at this point. Sure, he gets the KO on Salamence, but Marowak was his only way of really stopping this Magnezone. At this point, you're super reliant on Arcanine. And I wouldn't be surprised if Wolf's last Pokemon here is a Politoed.
I'm totally expecting Politoed if he's going for that sub, because the Celesteela is just not a Pokemon he's trying to deal with right now. He's like, you know what? I'm going to come in, sing my song, and deal with him later. You know, like I can just kill the Marowak and just get my sub.
Yeah, and I do think, oh, there's the Politoed. I do think that Eric has done a good job getting rid of Salamence, which, you know, Bulu can threaten this Politoed. Okay, there's the Arcanine. But Wolf losing his Intimidate Mon means he has less for Bulu. But that's what's so nice about this Magnezone. There's no Terra, there's no Dynamax. It has like really good coverage right now. It has Flash Cannon to hit the Fairy type Bulu. It has Thunderbolt to hit Celesteela. And right now, not even bringing in your own Bulu, I feel like Wolf's in a pretty commanding position here.
No, Wolf is just hard chilling. Because the sub, once again, this team has 3 sub Pokemon, and he's pressed substitute on all of them, by the way. And the sub here is just making it so it's just such negative momentum. It's just so hard to remove that thing. And if Wolf ever just plays passive and potentially just protects the sub, it's even worse. And Wolf knows that Eric needs to remove this guy. So he's just in the driver's seat 100% here. And also, you can probably just throw a Scald Flash Cannon at the Arcanine and nothing's living that. Okay.
Yeah, I honestly don't mind that at all. This Flamethrower is doing nothing. Like, it probably breaks the sub, but like whatever. Yeah. You can honestly encore the Celesteela into. Okay, well, you know what? I like Scald a little bit better. It's a little bit more aggressive, and it punishes the Arcanine.
It is gonna live comfortably though.
Very bulky Arcanine. Wolf also probably not really putting that much in. Oh, he doubles it with T-Bolt, not fearing the switch out into Bulu at all, and it actually gets the KO. And at this point, I have to say it's curtains.
Dude, that guy did so much damage, by the way. That was nuts. Magnezone went crazy there. That Thunderbolt did like half. I'll take it, dude. I didn't expect him to do much. And now he's back to full
this
HP.
Is the first tournament. So Magnezone running Magnet Pull, I think a lot of people didn't expect that. Moving forward in the meta, a lot of them do start running Analytic, which, you know, if you move last, you do even more damage. So this is a Magnet Pull Magnezone, picking up that KO on the Arcanine. But he really kind of pioneered Magnezone, like I guess just being the first guy to use it, running the sub-lefty set, and dominating. This you don't understand, dude. This tournament like really inspired me, and like I wanted to put substitute on every fucking Pokemon. I wanted to find a way to punish, you know, people playing passive, and this is just a masterclass in that. Like literally the first 3 turns, that Draginium Z was just chef's kiss, like literally perfection. In diagnosing a game 1.
He also just like, I think it was just such a safe, good turn, right? Like, it was just a good, because let's say he doesn't switch and he blows his Z move. It's like, okay, I'll still take that substitute, and your Celesteel's still trapped in. You know, like, it doesn't feel too bad. But he just went hard. He showed him who's boss. Now he's heavy slamming a Magnezone here. It's absolutely nuts. And Parrish went off.
I think Eric knows it's pretty over, dude. The Parrish is genuinely just such a safe play. Even if Eric attacked with the Bulu, like, it doesn't matter, dude. There's a Magnezone, flash cannoning the Bulu, the game is over.
Yeah, he is just big chilling here. And he does protect Bulu, but now his time has come to an end. The flash cannon will connect, and he will perish.
There's nothing he can do. The song was fucking piercing. And Wolfe still has a whole Pokemon in the back. He still has the Bulu.
Yeah. So he just has to play a slow double protect, stall out the game with Parrish, chilling. I think he played that game, like, perfectly. He knew what he wanted to do, and I think it's kind of cool to watch Wolfe play closed sheet, because closed sheet is kind of a different game. He's obviously a beast at open sheet. I think he's even scarier with open sheet. But closed sheet, he was clinical, and he knew what he was doing with his team building. And I think it did reward his team building even more so.
Interesting. So it's still Bloom Doom. It's still Grass Z, Tapu Bulu. It just has Stone Edge for coverage. And these are the kind of things we see in the first tournament. Like, you really have no clue what your opponent could have.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you used Roxy Bulu at some point. I'm gonna say that's absolute ass. But just a random Stone Edge, dude, that would get me. If I'm a Salamence in front of a Bulu, like, I would definitely get got.
Now, okay, one quick note on Roxy Bulu, because this game is cooked. Roxy Bulu, it was SD Bulu, and Roxy Bulu would kill Arcanine at +1. I think that was what we were doing. And it was max speed Jolly. So it was, like, really fucking fast. And its whole point was to just surprise KO Arcanine. Because Arcanine is... do you think... He's not the best Pokemon, but he is one of the best. He's high up there. He's the premier Intimidator.
Top 3 for sure, dude.
Yeah,
Arcanine was on every fucking team.
He's so
other than, I would say Tapu Koko is maybe the best Pokemon in the format. But Arcanine's like probably 2. No, Garchomp, you're biased. Garchomp was not as good as Coco.
I love Garchomp. No, Coco's number 1, dude. Coco is the premier. He's never been more broken. I love Tapu Koko. But I do think that Garchomp was pretty saucy.
Dude, my favorite Pokemon of the format is still Tapu Bulu, and that's why this matchup is just so beautiful to watch for me.
Yeah, Wolf's just
you see
for
what
fun.
they're doing to each other with the wood hammer.
Yeah, at this point, he's just, like, slowly winning the game. There's, like, nothing he has to do. He's just protecting. Eric's just playing this one out for funsies, I guess, making the video a little longer.
No, he's using the time to think about what to do in the next game. Wolfe is literally pushing buttons so the game can progress and he can win the game. Like, he just has to not click forfeit and he wins. But Colin, take me into the mind of a young 17-year-old Eric Rios. Tell me, what is he?
So if I'm Eric, I'm sitting across from Wolfe Glick, the current reigning world champion, and I'm shitting my pants. Like, he is outplaying me in the Bulu mirror. This Magnezone is a huge fucking issue, and he just worked me game 1. I'm thinking, okay, this is what he's known for. I'm going to have to play a little bit more aggressive. I'm going to step on the gas. Because I know I was in this exact same scenario. He wasn't the world champion yet. But I remember in 2016, I played him at a regional, and I got smacked at game 1, and I said, fuck, dude. You have to step that shit up. You know, you have to step on the gas. And that's just what you got to do. I think you got to put the pressure on him. Now, will it work? Who's to say? Wolfe is still nasty. At this point, he's very defensive, and he's got a defensive team at his ready. So I don't know how he's really going to do this. But, yeah, I think he's just got to make sure he's not getting caught by those turns. Because I think Wolfe played this one clinically.
Yeah, if I'm in the perspective of Eric, I think this might be the match that radicalized him into the player he is today. For sure. I think Eric loses this and is like, I have to be better than Wolfe, and he goes on an absolute tear. Mm-hmm. But it's exactly what you said. He punished me turn 1 for playing so defensively. He did it again turn 3, where I switch in my Marowak and he just pops me. So if I'm Eric, I really need to prioritize keeping my Marowak alive. I think Marowak Blue is a pretty good board state to have. If you can get both of them on the field and somehow have pressure into that Salamence, maybe protect on the Z move or just try and play more aggressively through it, I think he has a much better shot at winning this game, because Marowak did nothing. It came in and died, and that is really the key for the matchup. So if I'm Eric, I'm thinking I need to play a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, he definitely needs to play aggressive. He needs to put on that pressure. Oh shit, a young Alex as well, rooting on his boy. But yeah, I think he's gotta step it up and not get caught, because I think Wolfe just played that one just like fantastically.
And you can see Wolfe is locked in, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's locked in. He wants to win this because at this point, he's won nationals, he's won regionals, he's won worlds. All he's missing is the new internationals, and he's ready to win this one. I bet you he really did want to win this one. To be the world champion and then to clutch up here and win again, that would be pretty sick.
That's just insane. How do you have the drive to do that? Like, I feel like after he won Worlds with such a decorated career, I would have just been like, yeah, dude, I'm taking a fucking 3-year break. I'm good. Like, I am the GOAT. Well, I'm not at this point, you know, maybe he's like, Ray is still better than me, but I don't know how he has the drive to keep doing it and create. Like, this team is not, like, boring at all. It's creative. It's new. I mean, everything in this tournament was new, but, like,
Yeah.
you'll see. Some of the teams are more, like, what you'd expect than others, like Coco, Garchomp, Arcanine. But yeah, so they do have 3 Pokemon in common, and then the Intimidator, right? And I think Rio Passer really does have to preserve his Marowak here. I don't think Politoed's very useful unless it has Ice Beam.
I don't think he gets. I was gonna say I don't think he gets to bring anything really. Maybe P2, but P2 is huge, a huge bait into the Politoed as well. It's just not like active enough, like quickly enough. So I don't know. I mean, I think it could be useful, but it's not killing.
And then we see Wolf Boys. We see Billa and Marcus talking to the GOAT.
Shade Vieira too. Yeah.
Dude, that's actually crazy. We got the 2016 and 2015 world champ in this video. But what? Okay, so Wolf plays the same exact thing.
And now he's got Celestial right off the bat.
Split it in.
Yeah, he's just like, it's here. You have to deal with it. Because Wolf does, like, he has good answers to it, but if it can start leech seeding early, just kind of get control of the pace and just kind of be annoying, I think maybe it could be more effective. But the Intimidate does matter. Heavy Slam will be doing less, because it was nuking things last game.
And I think, honestly, what Wolf is such a master at, especially in close sheet, is just punishing your stupidity, right? So punishing your passivity, game 1, where he gets the substitute off. I think that he has done this so many times that he knows Eric's like, I don't want that to happen to me again. And now Wolf's going to be the one that plays more defensive. Wolf's going to be the one who's like, I'm going to make sure you drain your resources, your reads, and frustrate you, make this game longer than it has to be, but I still end up winning on top.
Oh, and Eric did bring Politoed as well. That's actually kind of nuts. That guy has 4 HP. That is a fast Politoed. That is totally Scarf if I've ever seen it.
Scarf Politoed, that's actually crazy.
That's a soul read. That's a soul read on the HP. Yeah, is he gonna double sub again? Now he leech seeded the Celesteela using its own weapon against him. Nasty work. And then heavy slam into.
Dude, like, I like the Politoed switch in, so it takes less from Flamethrower, obviously.
Yeah.
And Eric doesn't know that the Bulu has fucking leech seed, but this is awesome because Wolf can switch it out and trap in.
Yeah.
The Celesteela being seeded with Magnezone. And if Eric's like, oh, I don't want that to happen, Wolf can punish that again with a stupid substitute or whatever. But at this point, you sniping that Scarf Politoed, it might be a way out for Eric here. He might be able to get a cheeky Ice Beam off or something.
It's 4 HP, right? It has to be Scarf. There's no other reason here. He's gonna withdraw it. Damn it. I wanted to see so bad. Maybe it's just no bulk.
Scared, dude.
I don't know. Oh, Wolf.
Oh, but he got it right.
Yeah, he said, I'm not falling for that shit. Okay.
That's actually so smart, switching out the Salamence.
Yeah.
Wolf is the king of, like, doing the other slot. Like, you think you know what he's going to do, and then he flips the slots, right?
I mean, I love the turn. It was so safe there. And now he's going to eat up his... does he have Citrus Berry on that guy? No, he doesn't.
I think it's Lumberry, actually, because you don't want to get Wisp.
It is Lumberry.
But,
we made a whole video on it.
This is where the Intimidate's paying dividends, bro. Like, that, it took a lot, but with the lefties, not the lefties, sorry, the Grassy Train and the Leech Seed and the Protect, and now it is trapped in, you just feel so good about that turn. I feel like Wolf's play was actually super safe. Doesn't really matter what you go for, Ice Beam, Scald, whatever. I'll Horn Leech the Politoed if it stays in, and if it doesn't, I'm positioning, and this fucking Celesteela is trapped. Like, he's cooked right now.
He's slowly dying to Leech Seed. He can't actually really Leech Seed either because Magnezone can press Substitute, and now you can't Leech Seed either target. So this is just super chill. Marowak's going to come in here, but for what? You know he's subbing up. He's going to whip a fat sub on this this Magnezone. I can sense it.
My God, dude, he is playing so beautifully. I feel like switching out that blue is so safe.
Okay, no sub, but I guess he doesn't care. That's fine.
I don't think you
Okay.
need the sub at this point. I think you play more aggressively into the Bulu so your Politoed is safe. And if it switches out, guess who's on the field? This happy little green frog gets to come in, eat the heavy slam, and now pressure that slot.
He's
and
playing
you can Skull
so well,
Flash
dude.
Cannon it.
He's playing
What's gonna
so well.
happen?
This is so nice. This is a clinical game. This is Wolf Glick at his finest right here. God
Dude, he
damn.
legit has no punish.
No, every turn is literally like he's like, dude, I cover for 2 or 3 turns in advance. Like he's like, oh, I'll either kill Bulu or if Marowak comes in, I threaten the KO next turn with my Politoed. It's just clean.
Look how healthy his Pokemon are, dude. Everything has such high health because of that Leech Seed, because of grassy terrain, and because of his his smart defensive switching. So you have Intimidate in the back too, in case the Bulu wants to come back in here. But Magnezone's threatening so much damage. And you can Encore the stupid Celesteela into Heavy Slam right now.
Yep, and at any point as well, Magnezone can just rip a sub if it wants to. Like, it doesn't need to, it's threatening damage for sure, but it also just could sub on any passive plays that Eric makes and just get out scot-free. Okay, he goes for Scald,
Okay,
and he goes for sub, because it's just so safe. It's so safe. The substitute looks so good in this set. Oh, Leech Seed, okay. Okay, he finally gets to press it, but Politoed has a Leech Seed on you, buddy, so it's gonna never die.
Yeah, so this doesn't really change too much. I feel like that was a passive turn. Eric's definitely switching out this Marowak next turn. It's facing down a Scald and an Encore. So I feel like you can Scald and T-Bolt the Celesteela. Or honestly,
T-Bolt the
probably
Marowak.
T-Bolt the Marowak, actually, in case it switches into Politoed. Because going into Bulu, it probably still takes too much, and it doesn't really contribute to anything on the field.
Yeah.
At this point, the Magnipool is just carrying so much weight. Like, the Celesteela slot is doing nothing, and it can get intimidated again. So I think if you're Wolf, you just double that Marowak with a Scald T-Bolt, and it goes to Bulu, you switch that Solomon's in, eat some Leech Seed. Like, what are you going to do? No, it's absolutely useless at this point.
No, he's chilling. And, it's just I think what makes this so cool is, going into this tournament, I think Celesteela was very clearly one of the strongest Pokemon. Like, right away, people clocked it. They're like, dude, the timer's funky as hell. We can just spam this Celesteela. Like, literally, one of our friends, Alberto, made his whole career off of playing Celesteela really well. Celesteela was so broken, and Wolf said, you know what? I think Celesteela's broken too, but I'm not going to use it. I'm going to hard counter it with his Magnezone. And it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Wolf actually got a turn wrong, dude. We
I
gotta
know.
cancel him. That was fucking bullshit.
I think we
This
should
video's
post this,
stupid.
dude. Yeah, this is stupid.
What the hell, man? Even I clocked that T-Bolt from a mile away.
He really wanted to kill Bulu. But I mean, it's chilling here. I really want to be right about this Scarf Politude, but I think this guy's so fucked that we're not going to even see it. We're not going to know.
Just why is it 4 HP? Just tell me. Just give me a hint, man.
I don't know, dude. Yeah, maybe it hits a speed that's really crucial to Arcanine. I really don't know why it's 4 HP. That's Politoed's best part, dude. He's bulky.
It really could be Scarf. I think that's cool. I guess in a best of 1 format again, where you're like, oh, you led Politoed on this bulky ass team. Oh my god, it just ice beamed my Garchomp.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it just hydro pumped my Coco. I'm dead.
Yeah, no, I think Scarfs and Bands and Specs were they're still very good. Obviously, they're still winning worlds. But I do think back in the day when the sheets were closed, especially Scarf was one of the most nasty items. Because nowadays we use Scarf to set up pins and guarantee outspeed. Like Scarf for Shifu is a really good example. But back then it was like, yo, dude, I'm gonna put Scarf on High Dragon and I'm just gonna go first. They're not gonna think it's gonna happen. And that's what you do. I won a regional doing that. You know what I'm saying? It was just good.
Yeah, no, there's a completely different way of building teams back then.
Yeah.
And that's why I was so inspired by the way Wolf did it. He tried to minimize that variance by having a lot of defensive options. So you're just encoring into Heavy Slam, so safe. What else are you supposed to do? And you probably just T-Bolt. Yep, you probably just T-Bolt. If the Marowak comes back in, you're still threatening a Scald. I feel like this game's been over for a while, but Wolf is playing it just super safe, making sure okay, there's no way I'm messing up and giving him an out.
I do think sometimes in competitive Pokemon, the biggest thing and the most important thing to do is to not let your opponent get back in the game. And I think Wolf's amazing at this in this game. This is a great example. He's just holding the Celesteela hostage with the with the Magnezone, and he's just playing a 1v1 because the Celesteela has just been neutralized. So he's or 2v1. He's just yeah, I'm gonna just keep blasting the other slot and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, Celesteela is a car parked in a parking spot where you can't be. And Magnezone is a fucking British traffic cop holding him hostage right now. Like, look at him, dude. Doesn't he look like a cop?
He actually, I think,
Oh, you can't see him.
dude, it's funny you say that because I know you've never played any of the offshoot Pokemon games, but I swear to God, in one of the Pokemon games, like the side ones, he is the fucking cop. I know he's the cop. Like, he's actually canonically a cop in the Pokemon universe.
This does not surprise me at all right now. He's literally detaining him, and all he has to do is Scald, Flash Cannon, the Marowak, while Celesteela's trial gets pushed further and further.
Yeah,
like, he's literally
gonna...
just...
Oh, he didn't do that, though. He's just gonna protect her sub, I guess, right?
I don't really get that one. I guess Wolfe is afraid that it's not gonna do enough damage without the rain.
Yeah.
And so he's like, let me actually take some damage off here and protect Switch. Worst case, you get what? Shadow Boned? That's a move, right?
Yeah, Shadow Bone, yeah, I believe. Oh, but he protected. Dude, that guy, when he twirls that thing, that's nasty. That's some good animations right there.
Marowak is easily one of my favorite Pokemon of all time.
He's pretty
Heavy
sick.
Slam, probably like 40%. Actually less, it's -2, and the lead seed.
So now, is this just a free... Wolf does have a Z move, so this is just a Z move into Marowak once again, because it just blew Protect, and then you just go for...
Flash Cannon.
Flash
That's it,
Cannon?
Game's over.
You could T-Bolt too, you can do whatever the fuck you want at this point.
I guess it's actually... No, because if the Marowak gets double Protect, it's not ideal.
Yeah.
But... It's so over, it doesn't even matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
He's literally been reaping what he sows since the beginning. He clicked Leech Seed, like, what, turn 1?
Yes, turn 1 he Leech Seeded. And he's going for the Z moves. Again, this is just so safe. It's gonna look stupid as hell, but it's so safe.
Yeah, finally Eric's like, hey, dude, at least I hit an immunity. You're an idiot, dude. You didn't know that fairy types are immune? But I feel like the freest Flash Cannon in the world here. The Force Resplanador. Oh, 5 HP.
Wolf even put his head up, he's like, shit, dude, that actually just lived, what? Not that it matters, because now there's just going to be a flamethrower straight to that thing's face.
I mean, if Eric got the crit there, dude, maybe it wasn't over.
Maybe. He does have a full HP Bulu and a full HP Paul. Well, Politoed's a little bit damaged, but I think he's chilling.
It has never mattered less. You know, like...
Look at Celesteela, dude. It's losing out on the stall game. It's just suffering with this Leech Seed the entire game. This is so sick.
Honestly, fuck it. Just Draco the Bulu and T-Bolt the Celis, right? Like, I mean, Wolf's not gonna do that. He's just gonna do something else, switch, but like, well, whatever, right? Like, the game's over.
Yeah. He just neutralized everything. I think you could even just like... I think you keep Salamence alive even, right?
You can switch it out, back out to Bulu. Flash Cannon, or even Politoed. And if Blue goes for an attack, whatever, that means you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess you don't really want to do that, actually sack the Politoed. Having it to pressure Marowak is still useful, because it's relatively high health. But,
Oh, he's just flamethrower.
yeah, just flamethrower the Sally. That's actually so safe. Was it still locked into Encore?
No, definitely not. It just was attacking. I guess he could have... Oh, he's Bloom doing? Okay. I mean, he needs something at this point. He needs some sort of magic crit or some sort of crazy-ass play to save this one, but I don't think it can possibly happen.
Probably the magic crit into Magnezone.
I think you have to target Mag, right?
I don't know. There's nothing you can really do.
No, this was just clinical.
Only -1. This is going to do 25. Whoa, that was a crit. Right?
No, dude. That just did that. Holy fuck.
Because you know what? It's actually neutral. I was wrong.
Oh, yeah,
it's neutral. The Salamence was already in. Yeah, dude, Blue is so strong. I actually love the SD Glass Terra because you were a little silly for the Roxy, in my opinion. Because if you're +1, you KO Arcanine with Grass 1 anyway.
Yeah, that was just an oversight. Yeah, Bulu was, I think, Bulu was very explored. I think this was the first time people really used him, and then after this, he died down pretty hard. But I think he was sick the whole time.
He's easily my favorite Tapu. I don't think he's the best. I didn't say that, but he's still to this day one of my favorite Pokemon. And you have to remember, there were no monkey, business going around. There were no Rillabooms. This is the Grassy Surge GOAT, dude.
Yeah.
This is where Grassy Terrain started it all. I wanted to have that on my team. You see Wolf just, dropping some Dracos. The game is over. Flash Cannon should clean it up real good. And Marowak's down, dude.
Marowak is down, and he's out of here. This is a free dub for Wolf. I mean, that was just a clinical set. That was fun to watch. It was just kind of a dominance, but Wolf played that one just really, really nasty. He hits the
I'm gonna
smile.
smile to the camera. Are you kidding me,
Little
dude?
smile with his rollie on, bro. He's chilling.
Did that? You know he bought that after selling the card.
He literally won Worlds. He said, "You know what? If I'm gonna be a champion, I better look like a champion."
Cut the rollie. No, that was a Magnezone masterpiece. I think for anyone who didn't play the 2017 format, you don't understand what it was like playing against Celesteela. It won Worlds. It is absolutely broken. It was the most frustrating Pokemon to play against, and that was just one of the most disgusting ways to neutralize it that I've ever seen in 2017 to this day. And that was the first tournament, and it proved to be a menace for the rest of the format too. But Magnezone kind of became a really strong meta Pokemon. It did win in Internets, I believe. It won Oceania, and it won several regionals. So I think it's I think this is the start of Magnezone for real.
Yeah, and I think it was just like a really like great example of how good Magnezone can be. Like just stopping even half of your opponent from switching half their Pokemon, it's just broken. Trapping is just broken in this game, and Wolf is a master trapper. He's just so good with it.
Yeah, well, that was beautiful. Shout outs to all of you guys. Shout outs to Mark from the Battle Room comments section. We're trying to hit 10 million subs this week, so smash that like button, keep watching, and let us know what you want next, dude. We're open to making anything.
Yep, let us know, and thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate it as always. See you later.
Peace.